Then Imam al-Barbahari rahimahullah, he continued, فكان الأمر مستقيما حتى كانت الطبقة الرابعة في خلافة بني فلان انقلب الزمان وتغير الناس جدا وفشت البدع وكثر الدعاة إلى غير سبيل الحق والجماعة ووقعت المحنة في كل شيء لم يتكلم به رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا أحد من الصحابة. So the affair remained in order until the Khilafah of Banu so-and-so. Then the times changed. The people deteriorated greatly, and innovations became widespread, and there came to be many callers to other than the way of truth and the Jama'ah. Trials occurred regarding everything that neither Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam nor any of his companions had spoken about. Shaykh Fawzan, hafidhullah, he said, he's saying فكان الأمر مستقيما حتى كانت الطبقة الرابعة في خلافة بني فلان انقلب الزمان وتغير الناس جدا وفشت البدع. He said, so the affair remained in order until the Khilafah of Banu, of the tribe of so-and-so. Then the times changed greatly, and innovations became widespread. Shaykh Fawzan said, differing increased, and fitan, trials and tribulations, discord increased after the excellent generations had passed away, until there came the time of the Abbasiyin, the Abbasid Khalifas, and Al-Ma'mun Al-Abbasi appeared amongst them. One who mentions here the beginning of the time of the Abbasids, and this Khalifa Al-Ma'mun, he became the Khalifa in the year 198, the end of the 2nd century, here, year 198. He said, and he was followed by Al-Mu'tasim and by Al-Wathiq, and they adopted the saying of the Jahmiyyah, the deviant sect, the Jahmiyyah, and they wanted to force the people of the Sunnah upon it. And it is the saying that the Quran is created. The saying of the Jahmiyyah, this deviant saying of the Jahmiyyah, that the Quran is something created. And these rulers here, they took hold of that saying, and they wanted to force the Ahlul Sunnah, for the Sunnah to accept it. And they killed some of the Imams, and they lashed others from them. However, the truth remains firm, and all praise is for Allah. It does not depart. He's saying, وَكَثَرَ الدُّعَاةُ إِلَى غَيْرِ سَبِيلِ الْحَقِّ وَالْجَمَاعَةِ, and the callers to other than the way of the truth and of the Jama'ah became many. Shaykh Fawzan said, many people today say that they are du'at, they are callers, and that they are jama'at, they are groups, and there are sects beneath this cover of da'wah, of calling, being du'at, callers. And what they want is to call the people to misguidance, except for those whom Allah has mercy upon, from those who remain upon the call to the book and the Sunnah and the methodology, the way of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his call. And this one is upon truth. The one who is a caller, who calls to this and remains upon this way, calling to the book and the Sunnah, to the way which the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was upon, truly, in his call, then he is upon truth. He is upon truth. And this is the call of truth. So not everyone who carries the name of da'wah, not everyone who carries the name of giving da'wah will be correct until his methodology, his manhaj, is looked into, the methodology which he proceeds upon. So if he proceeds upon that which the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions were upon, then he is a caller to truth. And if he is contrary to that which the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was upon in the methodology of da'wah, then he is upon batil, falsehood. So a person should not be deceived by someone saying that he is from the callers, from the du'at, from the callers. For indeed there are du'at, there are callers who are at the gates of the hellfire, and whoever obeys them, they will cast him, they will throw him into it, they'll cause him to be thrown into it, just as he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. And in the footnote they quote the hadith for this, that this is a part of the hadith of Hudhayfa radiallahu anhu, and it contains the wording. So Hudhayfa radiallahu anhu said, the famous hadith about the different stages in the future, what will happen to this religion. We used to become good, we used to become evil. Then Allah gave this good to us. Will there be any evil after this good? It's the hadith. And he said, within that hadith, I said, so will there be any evil after this good? So he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Na'am, du'atun ala abwabi jahannam, man ajabahum ilayhi qadhafuhu fiha. He said, yes, there will be callers at the gates of the hellfire. Whoever responds to them, in that they will cause him to be cast into it. He said, I said, O Messenger of Allah, describe them to us. So he said, they are from they have our skin, and they speak with our tongue, they speak with our language. So I said, then what do you command us if that reaches me? What do you command me if that reaches me? He said, Talzam jama'at al-muslimina wa imamahum, that you adhere to the united body of the Muslims upon the truth and to their ruler. Reported by Al-Bukhari in his Sahih. It should be hadith number 3606 and 7084, 3606 and 7084, and reported by Muslim as hadith 1847, 1847. Then Shaykh Fawzan said, back to the text, the explanation, he said, and therefore the author said, وَكَثَرَ الدُّعَاةُ إِلَى غَيْرِ سَبِيلِ الْحَقِّ وَالْجَمَاعَةِ, and there became many callers to other than the way of truth and the jama'ah. Shaykh Fawzan said, just as is the case now, there are many who claim that they are calling to Islam underneath this cover. So if their manhaj, if their methodology is looked into, and their activities, then they are found to be in total opposition to Islam. He said, his saying, وَوَقَعَتِ الْمِحْنَةُ فِي كُلِّ شَيْءٍ لَمْ يَتَكَلَّمْ بِهِ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ وَلَا أَحَدٌ مِنْ أَصْحَابِهِ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ. He said, and trials came about with regard to everything which Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had not spoken about, nor anyone from his companions radiallahu anhum, may Allah be pleased with them. He said, Shaykh Fawzan said, speech became plentiful and differing and rumour mongering and claims of knowledge. However, all of this will fade into insignificance, and what is indicated by the book and the Sunnah will remain, and it is the sound methodology and the straight path. However, this requires two matters. In the true manhaj, the true methodology will remain that which is indicated by the book and the Sunnah. That being the straight path. He said, however, this needs two matters. Firstly, al-ilmun nafi' requires beneficial knowledge, ilm, by which that which the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions and those who followed them upon good were upon. And to make sure that you are going to be upon that correct methodology, that correct way, requires two things from you. Firstly, al-ilmun nafi', beneficial knowledge. So that therefore, with that beneficial knowledge, you can know what was the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is actually the way that he and his companions were upon, and those who followed them upon good. What is that way? Secondly, as-sabr wa thabat. It requires patience and firmness, and that you do not move away, depart along with the discord, with the trials and tribulations, or along with the callers to misguidance. Rather that you should be thabit, you should be firm, and be patient upon whatever strikes you, from rebukes and blame or threats. As long as you are upon the truth, then be patient. وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا أَصَابَكَ إِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. Surah Luqman, the 31st Surah, Ayah 17. For the explanation, and have patience upon whatever befalls you. Indeed, that is from those affairs which Allah has firmly commanded.